Reading from Caitanya Caritamrita, Chapter 2, Text 17. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Munayo vata vasanaha shamana urdva mantinaha brahmakyam dhamma te yanti shanta sannyasino ammalaha. Naked saints and sannyasis who undergo severe physical penances, who can raise the semen to the brain, and who are completely equipoised in Brahman, can live in the realm known as Brahma Loka. In this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 11, 6.47, Vatvasana refers to mendicants who do not care about anything material, including clothing, but who depend wholly on nature. Such sages do not cover their bodies, even in severe winter or scorching sunshine. They take great pains not to avoid any kind of bodily suffering, and they live by begging from door to door. They never discharge their seeming, either knowingly or unknowingly. By such celibacy, they are able to raise the semen to the brain. Thus, they become most intelligent and develop very sharp memories. Their minds are never disturbed or diverted from contemplation on the absolute truth, nor are they ever contaminated by desire for material enjoyment. By practicing austerities under strict discipline, such mendicants attain a neutral state, transcendental to the modes of nature, and merge into the impersonal Brahman. So Srimad Bhagavatam is saying that there are these sages who are so fixed, they're determined that they don't want to divert their mind or attention to anything else except on thinking about the absolute truth, other than going further and further in this Gyan path, in this knowledge. But, and what? They're not even wearing clothes. They're not taking the trouble to earn money so that they could eat food. They just, whatever they get from begging. And they never discharge their semen. Instead, they raise it to the brain. So it is said that the brahmacharis who never discharge their semen are very sharp, very intelligent, because the semen is made with blood. And then the more the semen is lost from the body, the more weaker the man becomes. And if they don't, they become very intelligent with sharp memory. And then after this, practicing austerities, strict discipline means so austere, very, very strict control of mind and senses, not thinking of any material enjoyment. Then after such severe practices, such a person can go and sit in the Brahma Jyoti, merge in the impersonal Brahman. He becomes transcendental to the modes of nature, means he gets liberation. He's no more in the modes of nature. But this is a very, very difficult path, very difficult. You know, who can do that? No material desire at all, live by begging. Then again, it said celibate, be celibate, and then practice austerities and strict discipline. So we can see it's not an easy process. Text 18. Atmantaryami yanre yoga shastre kaya seha govindera amsha vibhuti yehaya. He who is described in the Yoga Shastras as the indwelling supersoul, Atma Antaryami, is also a plenary portion of Govinda's personal expansion. So the Brahmajyoti is also a feature of Govinda, is the light coming from Krishna. Then what about the supersoul, the Antaryami, the Paramatma in everyone's heart? Is also a plenary portion, is another feature, is an expansion from Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is by nature joyful. His enjoyments or pastimes are completely transcendental. He is in the fourth dimension of existence. For although the material world is measured by the limitations of length, breadth, and height, the Supreme Lord is completely unlimited in his body, form, and existence. So our material world is limited. It has boundaries. Our material world, although it's very vast, it has unlimited number of universes, unlimited number of planets, stars, but you can measure it. But what about the Supreme Lord? Supreme Lord is unlimited. He's all pervading. What means unlimited? Means ever expanding. Ever expanding. He's not personally attached to any of the affairs within the material cosmos. The material world is created by the expansion of his Purusha avatars, who direct the aggregate material energy and all the conditioned souls. By understanding the three expansions of the Purusha, a living entity can transcend the position of knowing only the 24 elements of the material world. So the material world, if we do according to the Sankhya philosophy, if we break down the elements of the material world, they are 24. And nothing else. The whole material world is comprised of these 24 elements: earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, the 5 working senses, the 5 knowledge acquiring senses, then the 5 objects of senses, sound, form, taste, sound, form, taste, smell, fragrance, and touch. Nothing else. We are so baffled by this material world, but that's all that material world is made of, this 24 elements. And now it is said that one who can understand that how this creation is happening by the 3 Purushas, the Mahavishnu, the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and the Shirodakshay Vishnu, and then knowing, and they can also understand that these Vishnus are expansions of Krishna. The expansion of Krishna. Then what? They're not limiting themselves only to understanding this material world, but they are stepping into the spiritual. They're stepping into understanding the spiritual, which is unlimited. One of the expansions of Mahavishnu is Shirodakshay Vishnu, the super soul within every living entity. As the super soul of the total aggregate of living entities, or the second Purusha, is known as Garbhodakshay Vishnu. So Shirodakshay Vishnu, he's the super soul in every living entity. Also, he's inside the atom, each and every atom in this material world. The Shirodakshay Vishnu is there. That's how the atom has its shape. Otherwise, everything would collapse if the super soul was not there. And then there is a Garbhodakshay Vishnu. The Garbhodakshay Vishnu is who's lying down in the universe, from whose navel the lotus flower comes, and where Lord Brahma is created. As the creator or original cause of innumerable universes, or the first Purusha, who's lying on the causal ocean, he's called Mahavishnu. The 3 Purushas direct the affairs of the material world. So Krishna expands himself as Mahavishnu, lies down on the ocean, causal ocean, Karana ocean. It's called the Karana ocean, causal. Then from his breathing of this Mahavishnu, thousands of universes come out, unlimited number of universes. Then he enters into each universe as Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Then again, he enters into every atom as Shirodakshay Vishnu. So we can see that it's all Krishna. Nothing beyond Krishna. The whole creation, everything, the material world, the spiritual world, everything is made by Krishna. The authorized scriptures direct the individual souls to revive their relationship with the super soul. So imagine, Krishna is so powerful. He's creating all the material world, spiritual worlds, everything. He owns everything. We own a little bit, how happy we get, how proud we get, how we want to show off with whatever little we can own. how possessive we get. But Krishna, he owns everything. There's nothing or no one that does not belong to Krishna. He's the one who's created everything and everyone, and imagine, we, the tiny living entities, each have a personal relationship with him. And he's in each and every one of our hearts as Paramatma. So how personal is he? Although he has everything, he's owning everything, and yet he has a personal relationship with each and every living entity. Isn't that amazing? And so it's to our benefit if we can revive our relationship with Krishna. We have all to gain and nothing to lose if we revive our relationship with Krishna. Indeed, the system of yoga is the process of transcending the influence of the material elements by establishing a connection with the Purusha known as Paramatma. One who has thoroughly studied the intricacies of creation can know very easily that this Paramatma is the plenary portion of the Supreme Being, Sri Krishna. So how does one understand the Paramatma? Is through yoga, through the yoga process. And then by understanding, so we saw that in the previous verse, it was said that by doing these austerities, by sense control, mind control, by getting knowledge, one can go to the impersonal Brahman, which is a feature, which is a light coming from Krishna's body. Then what's mentioned here is through yoga, one can understand the Paramatma feature, which is an expansion of Krishna. He's a feature of Krishna. So it's our it's a sign of intelligence if we can take up directly to serving Krishna and no need to go the indirect process. For example, if we have to go onto the roof of a 100-story building, we have a choice. We want to take the staircase or we want to take the lift. The choice is ours. How do we want to go? Of course, if we take the lift, we can reach there very easily, and in a shortest time possible and without much endeavor. But if we take the staircase, we may reach there, we may not reach there, because we might get tired by going the 10 steps and say, okay, I'm going down again. I don't want to do it anymore. So those processes are like the Gyan and Yoga processes, where the result is also not guaranteed and they're very troublesome and takes a long, long time. Is that okay?
Yes.
Any questions, comments?
The lift is the bhakti.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So all the scriptures encouraging us to take up the bhakti process, take up with faith, because we have so many doubts. Oh, what if I do the bhakti process? What if I'm losing out? What if I'm being cheated? But no, we should take it up with full faith, because the Gyan process, the yoga process, they are just going to keep us here still in the material world. They won't take us out of the material world. So with full faith, with determination, as you just said, make the full effort, with our full effort, we should engage in bhakti. And Krishna will be pleased, and we will go back home, back to Godhead. So we'll stop here for today. Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.